Today we're going to talk about how to achieve large-scale results. Uh, that's what I'm here to do. That's why I founded Vegan Lunch. And not everyone in the vegan community has to do what I'm doing. But really, Vegan Lunch is a community for people who want to get something done bigger than themselves. Now, maybe that means you're going to make an online course and teach people how to go vegan, or you want to open a restaurant, or maybe you have an idea for something much larger. So here's the basic formula of how to get large scale things done. Large is relative to your ability to hold that space of largeness. I know this is very jargony, but to hold the idea, to um, to believe that it's possible. Uh, and that's really the essence of starting, because what we don't believe, we're not going to start. So Vegan Launch has actually a relatively small goal, and the goal is to mobilize and invest $1 trillion in the vegan economy by 2025. And we've got 4 years and a quarter from this video to achieve that goal. So this is an anchor point for that, and we'll see how it goes. And I'm laughing, but it's not that I don't believe in it. I just know how difficult it is to stay focused in the various steps that it'll take. But the thing is, the key step is to visualize that being done. And in this case, what would that look like? What would it mean to have a vegan world, first of all? You know, $1 trillion is actually not necessarily enough to veganize the whole world, but it's an increment that I believe I can be responsible for, right? If your increment is like, you can be responsible for opening a vegan restaurant, take that step. And one of my mottos is that we create from our state. So once we get the feel of how something would be in the future, now we're in the state of, like, we can see it being accomplished. This is a very important aspect of our humanity. If we can actually begin to accept the idea that it could be accomplished and that we could be the driving force behind that, oddly, the answers of how to get it done come through our intuitive capacity. Our mind is only a storage machine. The mind records things, and we're trying to create something that hasn't been done before. All of us, everyone in this community, we're trying to do something that's never been done before, to change 12,000 years of human history since animal agriculture, and really much further. So we create from our state. And let's take a little bit of look more closely at what it would mean to have $1 trillion invested in the vegan economy. Well, first of all, the global retail stock market, those are publicly traded stocks, mostly on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange and the smaller exchanges around the world, that's already $100 trillion. So 1 trillion is just 1% of that. And when I say just 1%, vegans already represent at least 3% of all investors. And the real problem we're facing as a community of vegan investors, who together, 4 million of us, hold $3 trillion of public stock. Think of the stock market as like a giant grocery store of products. There's almost nothing vegan there. In the past couple of years, there's been some progress, but in terms of percentage-wise, out of that $100 trillion market cap, very, very tiny amount, percentage-wise, is there. So we're terribly underrepresented in the public market. And that's why Vegan Launch is really in the business of training people how to create new investment products, such as funding a startup or investment funds, any kind of thing to align investing with the future condition that we really want, which is a world of animal rights and health and ecological vitality. So now you get a sense, once you get the vision, then you begin to see, oh, here's how the pieces might fit together. And really from that vision, what I realized is that the thing that we need the most was I need to train about 100 people in what I know about doing impact investing along the lines of vegan ethics. And I felt like if I can train 100 people, then those 100 people, each managing about $10 billion on average, there's our trillion. So, and it'll get better and better. But you know, the hardest part, like I'm just speaking about this very casually in a relaxed way. When I first had that thought, I was a little hesitant. Like, what if I say that? What if somebody doesn't like me for saying that? So our mind throws up all of the different fears and doubts and disbelief. It's like, well, I don't know, it's a short time frame, or, you know, the mind has got a million reasons not to do it. But bit by bit, we look and listen to each one of those things and resolve it in whatever way you have. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's staring in the mirror. There's a lot of ways to begin to move past the mind's self-defense mode and move right into your creativity, your creative space. And that's why I love working with founders and entrepreneurs, because every day you want to quit. Every day it sucks. And yet the commitment to the creativity is higher than the mind. And I remember, this is about a year ago now, I think it was a little more than a year ago, we were supposed to close a transaction at Vegan Launch, and I was supposed to have a call with the attorney. And I call the attorney, nobody answers, and then I look at my email, and she says, well, I've decided to quit. And I'm not going to go into why, but it's like, the very first thought was, wow, she quit. Maybe I should quit. And the thing is, my commitment is so strong. It's like, I entertained that for about a minute. I thought, God, I could really just like kick back, just float along go with the flow. And literally though, within a minute, the solution to that problem of losing our attorney, right? Like on the day of closing a huge transaction, my whole beingness kind of just got to work. And literally within a couple of hours, I had solved the problem instead of allowing myself to just quit. That's what it takes. And to get to that point, you have to keep addressing your doubts. But the starting point is to really visualize clearly, like how great the creative thing that you want to create is going to be done. So that's step one, and we'll go into more details in the next video.